Good afternoon today. Have a special guest today, Mr. Malachi White, aka my son. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. One of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast was because I want to focus on mental health, and I want to talk about one of the experiences I've had that I've not really talked to my son about, but I'm gonna open up about it today. And I never talked to you about this, but the first time I've dealt with it was, I don't know, you may or may not remember, but the first time that Harold had passed away, and I think I had just picked you up from your mom's, or we just met, and I was coming down the Alcoa Highway, and all of a sudden I broke down crying. And I know in my mind, I'm sitting here as a father, as somebody that's, well, in my mind, I'm tough. I'm supposed to be a tough guy. But we never had that conversation, but I never really said anything about it. But just like, I guess with you, I see some things in you, and I'm just like, I wish I would have had that conversation with you and said, hey, son, it's okay to be upset. It's okay to show, emotions. But as a father, I never done that. But in that moment, I realized, it was okay to show emotions and to be upset instead of just instead of being a tough guy. So, but as of January, 2024, I started working on myself, mentally, health wise, and just focusing on my mental health because I realized that was one of the things that I let go as I've dealt with things and situations in life. And going into my grandmother passing and my father passing, I built more, resentment and anger, and I was battling between dealing with hurt and anger and resentment. So, but as of now, I've, seek the proper help, and I'm not ashamed to say that I see a therapist because I can talk to my friends all day long, and of course I talk to myself all day long, but doesn't it doesn't help anything. But it is what it is. But I've been practicing good habits and um, just get being around positive people, and just I've started every day with gratitude and just embracing things and looking at life different from how I used to look at life. And um, I'm just grateful that I finally realized that there's more to life than just, working and money and all the other materialistic things. But there's a quote that I want to read real quick, and I'm gonna get your feedback on that quote. Just tell me what you think about it. But adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. It's by William A. Ward. What do you think about that?
I'd say it's a very true, and say it's a. Guess I don't know if you would call it just a part of life. Has just like a what's it called? Like a metaphor, maybe to how you deal with life. How some people can go through things and they might shut down, where others it might make them stronger. Vice versa. But I think it's pretty true, and pretty solid. You could use it as advice, I'd say.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think, some men, because you got some people out there, my take on it is when it comes to adversity and when people start dealing with real situations, your true character is revealed. And just like in other situations, people, they're in control of things and they can say, oh, I can do this all day. you know, and they got that big boy mentality. But when you start having problems and dealing with issues in life, it reveals a person's true character because how you handle that situation determines, I mean, it shows you who you really are. So others handle situations differently than other people, but that just, but yeah, it will make and break some people, but that will bring out your true character.
Right.
So, but I want to I want to go back into. I got some questions I'm gonna ask you, and we're gonna go back and forth. But I know you recently just graduated from TCAT, and tell me a little bit about your career and what wanted you to get into collision repair, and what got you started with that.
I say I started out in high school wanting to work on cars, and I've always just liked looking at the fast cars, or just nice cars drive by and look at them, and spark my interest in working on them. And in high school, I wanted to take they had a shop class, but where I was homeschooled, they didn't have that option for a shop class. So once I graduated from um, the homeschool, I was at SESI in Maryville. I was at first going into college. I was booking my options. I was really wanting to do thinking about doing electrician work, and I think originally starting out it was more so I was looking more so at the money, realizing, or instead of something that I would possibly actually enjoy.
Right.
So then I was on that waiting list for a good minute, and since I didn't, and I had a best friend in the automotive already, Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me he could talk to the instructor and get me in with that. So once I seen I had that opportunity, I went ahead and jumped on that, and so went through the process and everything, and then I was in at TCAT through the collision repair technology class, um, and it's only about 16-month program,
Okay.
and I'd say there was a lot of ups and downs throughout that process itself, because I was getting up at 7, getting out of school at 3, and I was working at Walmart at the time, and I went in at 4, and I didn't get home till 11, and that was my schedule for 5 days a week, and there was a lot of I'd say just a lot of stress, and trying to manage things was a little rough because on top of that I had to also jump into a car payment because I had a way to get to and from school. But I'd say making it through all of that now, and now I'm at Caliber Collision, and I've been in the TAPS program where they train you up to become a technician on your own. I'd say after that whole process, I'd say it's been worth it, and I've learned a lot about myself. Because possibly even referring back to that quote, that was kind of one of those kind of like in a way, a make or break situation for me. Because I know not everybody could go through something like that and I guess make it through it. But not saying I'm not special or anything, but
well, everybody handles adversity different.
Yeah, yeah.
So when it comes to that.
But yeah, and I say I'm still enjoying it. I'd say with collision repair, it's like whenever I get a new car or whatever, I'm not like, oh, like I don't hate it. I'm more so interested and ready for something new to work on, see what it is, and it's also not an easy job. So I get a lot of I feel like you get a lot of accomplishment when you get a car that came out of a wreck, and whenever you're done with it, looks close to what it can to brand new. back to OEM. So
Okay. Well, I was gonna say something real quick. I like how I noticed you said when you was going into it, you was looking with the electrician, you was looking at the money, but you realized the collision repair was something that you would actually enjoy. And me, I had to learn the hard way because here I am. But when I started driving trucks and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm driving trucks. Um, it was all about the money when I started out, when I left my first job, going into my second job. So here I am working for a third company, but I left that second company. With this third company, I'm making less money than I made with the second company. But I left my first company for the second company for money. And at the end of the day, if you're not happy, money ain't gonna solve. Money can make things easier, but it ain't gonna solve your problem. So I never thought it out. I just said I want more money. So I made more money, and I still wasn't happy. So I'm glad you realized that. Well, with you made that choice, and you chose something that you would actually enjoy and like. So that's good that you done that. So another question I was going to ask you is, I reminisce with George and Sean all the time about your childhood, and how we go, camping, and I laugh when some people they'll ask me about me learning how to swim, and I think about the all boys camp, but the father and sons
yeah,
trip we used to take, and you encouraged I was swimming and stuff, and I just still didn't know how to swim, but I didn't learn until y'all was doggy paddling, and I finally learned how to maneuver through the water. But what are some of as far as your childhood, and what are some, like, I guess, some highlights or some things you think about from time to time? Like what? 'Cause I guess me being older and I'm working all the time, I got nothing but time to think when I'm driving. So I get in my head and I reminisce about positive things and just relive moments in my head. So there's some things, I guess, that you think about or you remember from your childhood.
I say I know a lot of reminiscence about those times we had on a lake out with Harold, Kyrus and Cruz,
Okay.
just fishing, or if we was out on a pontoon boat or on a jet ski, and with the Cuervo, really, or we was in there playing WWE, trying to take each other's head off. I'd say that's one big thing. I reminisce on that a lot, and I also reminisce back on times with you and mom as well. Whenever I was either at his house of love, like Dollywood or Splash Country.
Okay.
Trying to think what else. I'd say I reminisce a lot about football as well when it comes to
When you play
childhood
football.
experience. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say football is a big thing I reminisce on as well.
There was some good days, long nights,
Yeah.
good times. Okay. As far as I've asked you this many times, but I continue to ask you. So, as far as your mental health, like, what are some things you do that are positive that keeps you focused and just keeps you on track when you're, as you dealing with different situations, and when you run into obstacles? Like, what are some things, like some positive things you do to help the protect your mental health?
I'd say I know for me personally, I know uh, some nights if I just feel overwhelmed or like I just can't handle a situation, or like it'll get to the point where I'm uh, just too, I guess, I don't know if you would call it overstimulated or whatever, but I'd say I go on a drive, just a good drive. It's not really no specified destination, uh, and no certain amount of time. It's just until I feel better. Um, I'd say, and it doesn't have to be at any certain time of the day either. But I'd say that normally helps. Or if not, I just so usually playing the game gives me. I feel like I'm my own little world sometimes. That you can kind of just uh, not necessarily disregard the problem or neglect it, but it kind of gives me like I think a moment to where everything is kind of blocked out, and I can kind of uh, maybe in some ways even think about it, or just it might give me a more clear set up pace of mind whenever I'm off of that game or whatever, to think about things and not be as frantic or have a negative input on it. Has negative input on it. And then I'd say just talking to people I love and trust as well is another big thing. Just about whatever situation I'm going through or what it might be. I'd say that also is another big thing that helps me get through those rough moments.
Okay. And that's understandable. Like me, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I forgot. I also go to. I'd say therapy as well helps too.
Nice.
I see my therapist about. I think it's either 6 or 9 weeks out usually.
Okay.
For about 30 minutes, and I'd say that's also another big help just to get things just things off your chest.
And you have you have another outlet. Somebody, because I go about twice a month, and I catch myself sometimes just being in my head and trying to solve the world's problems, and I can't. So things I do to get through my days, like I guess I get up in the morning, I do my gratitude, and I meditate, throughout the day and pray, and I keep a good circle of positive people around me. So it's like you said, of people that you can trust, people that you can confide in. That's the type of people that you need in your life. People, I mean, it's people that are good listeners. That's what you really need. Somebody that's going to listen and not just talk over you and, Mr. Know-It-All. Like some people, they're Mr. Know-It-Alls, but a good listener is what you need. Somebody you can confide in. So that's good that you do those things, and that's good. I'm proud of you. You're going to, you're seeing a therapist. It's good too. Because like I said, there's a lot of people I know that they need to work on their mental health, but they choose other options and stuff. They're not the best options. It's just a temporary option. So, but one more question I got for you, and is there anything that you have on your bucket list, or questions? I said question. And what do you, as far as your future, as far as with your career, like I know I threw the bucket list and the career thing kind of together, but kind of like a two question answer, or however you say it. But you got anything on your bucket list? Because I mean, normally, your career, depending on what you're in, can get involved. It may or may not.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked it. Like, is there anything you got on your bucket list?
I'd say bucket list wise, I know for sure. I know for sure I want to go to Japan one day. Visit. For the what's it called? Cherry blossoms.
I don't know what that is.
I think it's the pink trees they got down there.
Okay.
I just want to see the scenery and everything.
Cherry blossoms.
So I'd say Japan, and just for a different environment because I've never been out the country. But Japan, then I'd say.
You've been in Hawaii, man.
That's not out the country though.
They're not.
No.
Wow, that tells you what I know. I tells you what I know. I need to start. I need to pay attention to geography. There we go.
But I'd say Japan, and I'd say I know I want to go on a cruise as well one day. That's another big thing I want to do is just experience a cruise. I don't think I'll get seasick or nothing. Hopefully not. But so I know for sure I want to go at least out the country, and on a cruise. And then I'd say when it comes to bucket list, and I'd say with future with work wise, I just more so one day I just want to be able to be I say financially stable and be able to make enough to where I can try to show love and support to the ones that including you and mom and just the ones around me that's been there for me and helped me get through rough situations and just through life, whereas where I probably wouldn't have made it just on my own. Be able to turn around and reimburse that back. And eventually one day too, I really want to end up trying to get into some community service in a way, or just if I go out to homeless and try to feed them, or just I really just want to try to be something positive. I don't know what you would call it, just a positive figure, just with the way everything this world is today. Everything's so negative, and a lot of people focus on the negative and sometimes forget the positive. So I just want to try to be able to maybe go out and just bless other people's days in a way, any way I can, or just if it's buying somebody's groceries one day, just try to be a positive outsource for everybody and help those around me, even if it's somebody that dislikes me or just has negative opinions or hates me or just does something bad towards me. I still want to try to do something positive to just be a change in the world. I'd say for my not only for I guess myself, but my just people around me, my sisters, and uh, just be a big support. Really, say the big goal of the future that I'm trying to attain when it comes to work and where I want to do with my job. And uh, yeah, I say that's
Okay,
that's it.
that sounds good. Then I'm gonna end this with this quote. Um, I've been in the quotes. So it says, "Watch your watch your thoughts; they become words. Watch your words; they become actions. Watch your actions; they become habits. Watch your habits; they become character. Watch your character; it becomes your destiny." Frank Outlaw. See, I be on them quotes. See, I listen to them, and I mean, I read them and listen to them, but I be more in audiobooks. But it just, to me, when I'm reading quotes and stuff like that, it just, I read it and I think about it. It puts me in another mind space, or another. I mean, it puts me in another place because it's like I pause life and then I just start visualizing stuff. So with that quote that I just said, what is your take on that? I know it's got a lot of truth in it, but
How does they look at it again?
says, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny.
Uh,
So,
I say it's
so
I say
basically just saying basically what you speaking things, people like if you're basically if you're negative, however you speaking, you're speaking that into how they say speaking into existence, but you're
yeah,
speaking it. So if you got a bunch of negative stuff come out of your mouth, are you gonna get as negative? But if you're speaking positive stuff, and I said you're around positive people, and you keep that energy, it's like the
yeah,
universe. You got that positive energy. Because the universe, it works in mysterious ways, but um, it's a positive thing.
yeah. I say it shows that the little things matter. You might not think they do, but I think it shows that they can be very important. Whether it's I don't know, like bad habits or just one little thing could offset the other and cause you to, I guess, go down a not necessarily a bad road, but takes you away from I guess, a better road you could be taking, uh,
They
so to
say
speak.
how you do small things is how you do all things. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
So how you do small things is how you do all things. Pastor Austin Kobe, he mentioned, he said that today, but in a different context, but it meant the same thing. But basically, how you do, he was giving the analogy. He was just describing how when he was younger, and I don't, he was younger. He's like, he'd have his clothes over here. He had his clothes everywhere. So then when he got in college, he had his clothes over here. Then into his marriage, he had clothes everywhere, but his wife got him straightened out now. He was preaching about that today. No, but I appreciate your time, and I'm very proud of you. And I thank you for, like I said, giving me your time and everything. And I wish you the best, and you have a bright future ahead of yourself. And I see that. So, but I'm proud of you. So, as long as I love you, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Say thank you for having me on here as well, and I love you as well, and I'm also proud of you as well because you've been a big inspiration, a big positive. I guess a guide. I forgot the term. Figure, I guess. Yeah, father figure, someone to look up to. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. That's all, folks. This is cool.
Lost my train of thought when I was trying to spit it out.
Let's see.